Here we go. The Boston Marathon has announced their 2025 professional field list. Let's take a look. I put together some notes too, but let's take a look. Let's start with let's look at the women. So who do we have from the women? Okay, I'm just gonna scan through this. Okay. Let's see, is Des running? Let's look. Yes, Des is running. Bunch of Americans are running. Let's look at all the American women. Oh, it says 121. That's not right. Okay. All right. So we have Kiera D'Amato. So she's probably leading our list. Let's keep going from there. Oh, no. Sarah Hall, Emma, Des, Sarah Vaughn, Lindsay. Wow, Lindsay's running. Okay. Is that it? No. Kellen Taylor's running great. Dakota, no. But Annie Frisbee, so big fan of Annie Frisbee. Have a semi-personal connection where she was a coworker with my wife for a while. So I think she had a really great debut. I've been following her career. So that's cool that she's running. That's great. Look at all these American women. This is fantastic. Okay, very cool. And then on the men, yeah, a lot of the big names. Okay. So I put together some overall thoughts here. Let's start with the men first. All right. So no surprise, we have Cisse Lima from Ethiopia, defending champ. His personal best 2:01:48, which is nuts. Fourth fastest marathoner in history. Didn't compete in the Olympics because he was injured. So now he is back and ready for Boston. So he's been dialed in, focus on this one most likely. So that's a really interesting person to win this. You of course have John, who won the Chicago Marathon in 2024 with a blazing time. So this could be a really interesting person as well in the race. You have Evans, Chibet, uh, two-time winner. He won back-to-back in 2022 and 2023 before losing last year. His personal best is 2:03, which is extremely fast. You got to think he's going to be a threat because he's got the experience in Boston, which is always helpful. You have who else do we got here that's worth mentioning? This is a pretty good one. You got Victor Klipagat. This is the reigning world champion from Uganda with a personal best 2:05. If he wins, he will be the first man from Uganda to ever win the Boston Marathon. And then you have some obviously staples, right? People that are just really great. Maybe haven't been as fast in a while, but it's just cool to see them running. Who are the American men, out of curiosity? Oh, and then of course you have Connor. So Connor and Clayton are running right next to each other. Both these guys strong running at the Olympics to fit us in the top 10 in Paris. So they're leading the American contingent. So this is really exciting. I like to see how well they can do. I mean, Boston's one of those courses that things can happen. You have CJ. CJ's running. He's right on that mixed as well. Look at some of the other men that are here. I mean, it's great. It's great. Very deep. Very deep. I think of it a bit like how I watch NASCAR. There's people that are at the front of the race, and those guys are often winning. And you can watch the race and just focus on the leaders, and that's interesting. And then, but you know who those guys are and if they're going to win, and you know that's an exciting. But what you really could do is watch the middle of the pack, the guys that are competing between 10 and 20, because they're still really talented drivers, and there's a lot of racing here. That's how I think about a lot of these Americans in the field. Will a lot of these guys win? Probably not. But man, there's so much showings they can have, and who can be the top American, and how well can they do on that day. There's just a lot of exciting things here. So really cool to see all these American men running. All right, back to the women. So, what do we think is going to happen in the professional women's race? So again, strong field with Americans in it. So we have, first of all, to start with, this is interesting. They rank them upon a time, but down here you have the two-time champ, right? So two-time defending champ Helen. Her time isn't as fast, but remember, Boston's an interesting course, so she's going to be back on the course. If she wins, it will be the third consecutive win, and the last time someone had won three in a row was Fatima Roba, who won from 1997 to 1999. She's won Boston and New York, and she got the bronze medal at the Paris Olympics. So she's deep in this field, but I don't know. I wouldn't look past her at all. You also have, here's the leader. So here's the fastest woman in the field in terms of time, Amain from Ethiopia. She was runner-up last in 2023, and so she's got experience on the course. So I think she could give Helen, but I feel like Helen's probably the favorite, right? Coming off the Olympics and with their experience on the course. Then we have from Ethiopia, we have Yazimef. I'm gonna get better at pronouncing the names. Former London champ, 216 personal best. So, fast, super fast. Who else is interesting here? So here, this is good. So Sharon was the runner-up to Helen last year. So you got to think she's the favorite. My notes say former New York champ. And these two, Helen and her, have consistently run well together. And so I would look for some kind of race between these two women as well, with maybe some of the other people coming into it. And then for the Americans, so you have Emma, you have Sarah, yeah. But I think Kiera's been running really good. So look for her to probably lead the field with a nice mix of all the other women in there. Always want to see Desi do good. Fan favorite. Always want to see Lindsay do good. Always want to see Kellyanne do good. The American women are so strong, and it makes it fun to watch the Boston Marathon, because I think this is where the women are able to start first, and so they have a nice race for a while, which I think is really cool that Boston does that, so you can see that happening. So pretty cool field. Maybe some more announcements. Maybe there's something people that you were expecting to see that aren't there, but I don't know. Should be exciting. Such a special marathon.